Hi everyone, I'm Ka, a Vietnamese international student in South Korea. Today the weather is rainy and windy, and there aren't any customers at the restaurant where I work. Since there's no work for me today, I have to stay home instead of going to my part-time job. I stayed up late watching football last night and had a few beers, so I was really tired. I didn't get a chance to clean up before bed, so I had to do it this morning when I woke up. For lunch, I just reheated the leftovers from last night in the microwave. It's a very simple meal, but it's enough for me today. Living in South Korea is pretty expensive, especially as a self-funded international student. So I try to save money whenever possible and avoid wasting food. For lunch today, I'll be eating the leftover meat from last night together with a pack of instant noodles. It's a quick, simple, and budget-friendly meal, but it still tastes really good. Sometimes, the simplest meals are the most satisfying. Once I finish lunch, I'll clean up the apartment and make everything look a bit neater. After that, I'll focus on my work and stay productive for the rest of the afternoon. Living alone abroad isn't always easy. I don't have a partner, and my family is far away in Vietnam. Now that the semester is over, I don't get many chances to meet up with friends either. Most days, I stay at home, eat, sleep, and work. If someone calls and needs an extra hand for a part-time job, I'll gladly go and work to earn some extra money. After lunch, I brushed my teeth, washed my face, and freshened up. Then I prepared to go out and buy some vegetables from the market so I could make a healthier dinner later in the evening. Even though I'm living on a budget, I still try to eat some fresh vegetables and maintain a balanced diet whenever I can. It's supposed to rain all day today, so I'm just going to the market near my place instead of going anywhere far. There's still plenty of meat in my fridge, so I'm mostly picking up some vegetables and fruit today. I need a bit more fiber in my meals and want to eat a little healthier. The rain is still coming down pretty hard. During the summer in South Korea, it's normal to have a rainy season that lasts for a week or even 2 weeks straight. Although this kind of weather can sometimes make people feel a bit down, I personally find it more comfortable than dealing with the scorching summer heat. At least the rain helps keep the temperature cooler. I live near Junang University. Because it's currently vacation season and the rain is pouring down, there are hardly any people on campus today. I studied Korean here before, but when I began my master's program, I moved to another university. Even though I'm no longer a student here, this campus still feels familiar to me and reminds me of my early days in Korea. The streets here in Korea are usually pretty steep, and the rain makes them even more slippery. I need to be careful while walking so I don't slip or get injured. Today, I'm heading to a local produce store to buy some fruit. In South Korea, vegetables and fruits can be surprisingly expensive, sometimes even more expensive than meat. That's why finding a good store with lower prices can make a big difference, especially for a self-funded international student trying to save money. Fortunately, this shop is located just a short walk from my apartment, and the prices are much more reasonable than most other places. Because of that, I come here quite often and really like shopping here. Koreans have a very respectful and orderly queuing culture. Today, someone even kindly let me go ahead of them and pay first, which was a pleasant surprise. I bought quite a lot of vegetables, but when it was time to pay, I was honestly shocked by how cheap everything was. The total came to only about $3 to $4. We're pretty heavy. It definitely wasn't easy. For someone who doesn't like going out much, this kind of trip can feel like a real workout. This is Jungang University, where I learned my first Korean letters. It was also the first place I came to when I arrived in Korea, making it a very special part of my journey abroad. The rain came down unexpectedly hard, leaving my clothes soaking wet within minutes. Although Korea does get rain, storms this intense are relatively rare, which made today's weather feel quite unusual. After walking a long distance, I felt quite tired, so I stopped to take a short break. These are some of the vegetables I bought today. They were quite affordable, costing only around $5 in total. First, I put all the groceries into the fridge. Then I spent the next 2 or 3 hours working before getting ready to cook dinner. Since my study space had become quite untidy, I spent some time cleaning up and rearranging my desk. A clean and organized workspace always helps me focus better. After that, I started preparing a simple dinner for one. The first thing I made was steamed white rice. For Vietnamese people, a meal never feels complete without a bowl of white rice. To start cooking, I prepared the meat. Fortunately, I had some marinated pork in the refrigerator, which saved me a lot of time. All I had to do was cut it into thin slices and get it ready for stir-frying. After that, I cut up some fresh fruit that I had bought earlier in the day. It was a simple addition to my dinner, but it paired nicely with the rice and stir-fried pork and made the meal feel more balanced. Vegetables can be quite expensive in Korea, but summer is fruit season, so many fruits are sold at much lower prices. Whenever I find fresh fruit at a good price, it genuinely makes me happy. Dinner is finally ready. Let me share my meal with you. Tonight, I'm having stir-fried meat, fresh cucumber, and some sweet melon alongside a bowl of rice. A rainy day, a trip to the market, a few hours of work, and a simple homemade meal enjoyed alone. Life may seem ordinary, but it's these peaceful moments that bring me the greatest sense of comfort and happiness. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Your support means a lot to me and motivates me to create more videos in the future. See you in the next one.